Welcome to Big Rascals, where we may be grown-ups, but we will never stop being rascals. We are a boys' book club, not just for the boys, but all those who enjoy reading, writing, comedy, and entertainment. Our purpose is to have fun discovering new worlds, making friends, and finding a cure for dyslexia.
Affirmative.
That is right.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Happy to be back.
We're back.
Happy to be here and seeing all your lovely faces back on the episode for those of you who watch.
Awkward as ever. So
No, we were being robotic. I thought that's what it was. I
Well,
was being awkward? Is that just
it's a
synonymous?
given that we're going to be awkward no matter what. So
no, turn it.
turn it this way.
Yeah, twist it.
Technical
There you
difficulties,
go.
Dominus.
There you go. Now we can see your pretty face, Jeff.
Aw, I don't really want my face seen.
All right. Cool. We got a fun episode today.
Indeed.
Yeah, let's see. I have a little surprise for you guys. Do you want it right now?
Surprises?
Before we start
I
anything?
like a surprise.
What?
Yeah.
Do you want it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were going to fart for a
Close
second.
your eyes. Close your eyes while I get it out of my pocket.
Oh no. What could it be? Where could it
Okay.
Is it a miniature particle accelerator?
Open your eyes. Ready? I got you guys these little book wallets.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh.
Jeff, I got you Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic.
Sick, man.
Derek, I got you Lord of the Rings.
Oh my
These
gosh.
things are pretty sick.
Yeah, they are.
And then I am keeping The Hobbit.
All right.
This is actually kind of
man.
funny with my hot take that we're gonna have later.
yeah?
On. Yeah. This is actually really funny.
Yeah. So
Awesome,
I
awesome.
saw them online and I was like, oh, I want one.
Wait, what does the Hobbit one look like? It's got Smaug on it.
Yeah, dude. I debated on giving you this one, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I could see why I would have kept the
Let
one with the
me see.
dragon on it as well.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
Lord of the Rings is a very cool
That's
one.
pretty
And
cool
seeing
one too,
how my
Derek.
current wallet is the Witch King of Angmar and it's Haggard, you're still going on theme. So good
Haggard?
job.
Oh, yeah.
Haggard, not Hagrid.
Haggard.
Although I could see Hagrid
what
trying
it
to
were.
tame a Nazgul.
Haggard.
He would straight
Where?
up. And the Eagles, he'd go for all of them.
Hermie.
Haggard. Hermie. Hey, it fits my things. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try it out. I need a new wallet.
Yeah, I need
Don't
one too. So
panic.
this is awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that just neat? Oh, look at it, guys. Look.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that neat?
I'm glad you like
Isn't
it.
that so neat?
Well,
Yeah.
back on topic, I guess.
Yeah, let's.
Did we ever
let's
have
be
one in the first place?
Focused like a machine.
Yep, we're going to be automated and do our podcast.
Efficiency is the goal.
So, yeah, why
Yes.
don't we get into our top 5?
Indeed.
So, I was thinking because we are doing player piano as our book, that we should do a music theme for our top 5. And I picked.
All right.
I decided to do our top 5 scores from movies.
Now,
So,
did you mean movies or shows or
movies?
just movies? Okay.
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 You did shows.
No, I had a backup just in case.
My honorable mention is a show, if that makes you feel better.
Okay.
Are you talking about Futurama's intro?
No,
'Cause I feel like that's the best intro.
that's pretty good.
Well, intros are kind of, I feel like, a different beast because it's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
a score is more wide and
Yeah.
throughout the film, whereas the intro is just that one little segment. It's more introductory than it is for the whole storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. I do have some rules with this. I told you guys already. You can only pick one score from a movie or series, so you can't pick all from Lord of the
Just like
Rings.
robots, we got
You can only
rules
pick
to follow.
one from one movie. And then I also have rules for we're not going to discuss it until we're done. And, we have a time limit on this. So.
Yeah, we're trying to be more concise.
We're all about efficiency today.
Exactly.
Efficiency.
So I'll go first. Let me pull up my top 5. Man, this was so hard for me, honestly. I'm gonna mention my honorable mentions throughout. My number 5 is Mountains by Hans Zimmer from the movie Interstellar, and
Yeah, it makes sense.
it was close. I think the other one's called Coward, because those are literally the two best parts in the movie. Mm-hmm. The water world where the giant wave comes, and then the Coward is where, who's the actor? Matt Damon. Matt Damon tries to.
Oh, I forget he's in the movie.
Tries to steal their ship, and ends up not docking correctly, and it explodes, and the ship spirals out of control. And the part where he's just like, they're like, oh, whatever. The Anne Hathaway's character's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Docking," and the music is so good, and he like matches the speed of the spin. But Mountains, oh my gosh, the reason with that one is because the music is incorporated to like the science in the movie. I don't know if you guys know, but every like tick, the clock tick in that song count is a day that passes by on Earth, as long as they're on that planet, because the relativity of time and the increase of gravity, because they're so close to the black hole.
Okay.
So I think that is just so cool, because the whole time I hear a tick, it's just like, every time I'm just imagining the sun rising and setting, rising and setting. It's just like,
crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's so insane. So that is just such a cool one.
Gotta watch that again. It's been too long.
It has been too long for me as well.
Top 5 movie for me.
Although my wife, she plays Interstellar on the piano, especially the cornfield chase in our home. So like, I'm prepping my boy to get ready for that movie. Because she does a great job. She like does it with so much flair. But I digress. We'll discuss more later.
Sure. My time.
Impossible.
My next one is Titan Spirit by Trevor Rabin. It's from Remember the Titans movie.
Yep.
It just beat out tryouts from Rudy, which is an incredible score as well. But Titan Spirit just is so personal to me. I played football, and the night before every game,
Did
I watched.
you kicked the ball across the field with your goals?
Yeah, I kicked it.
Football?
No, football Americano. So before the game every night, I would watch Remember the Titans, and like it would just get me so pumped. And like the
That's awesome.
Titan Spirit score is just so good. Just one of the best sports scores. So my number 3 is The Allspark by Steve Jablonsky from Transformers.
Thank you.
So good. And it just beat out another score in that movie, Arrival to Earth, which is amazing as well. But the Allspark with like the cello,
Allspark.
It's so good. Horrible movie. At the time, I gotta say the CGI is still incredible. They've taken step backs with CGI since then. But rewatching that movie is so bad.
The humans are not great.
But man,
They were never the best part of Transformers.
that score is so good. Number 2, and I think you'll agree with me on this one, Derek. Test Drive by John Powell.
You blessed man.
Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
That is
That's a good one.
Man, it is so good. all these get me emotional, but I feel like I picked the ones that made me more emotional as my top. Mm-hmm. And Test Drive is up there. It's so good.
It is god tier.
Yeah. And my number one, and I get emotional just talking about it because it just brings all the feelings in me.
What is it?
The White Tree or The Beacons.
Yes.
Howard Shore, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because my mom, I got her to kind of watch Lord of the Rings and got her into it. She's like, all I saw it as is
finally
just like,
got her to sit down and watch, more than 5 minutes.
Yeah. She's like, I just watch, or I listen to you watching it, and I'll hear these monsters just screaming. But I got her to understand it, and she watched the beacon scene, and she's like, I don't understand what's going on, but it's emotional. And so I thought that was funny. And it's just
the music.
If you don't know what's going on, you can still feel it. But if you know what's going on, it means so much more. Just the feeling of hope, like dedication, sacrifice, and then you get it to where Aragorn sees the beacon and runs in, and then he talks to Theoden, and it's like
that moment of silence. Theoden's opinion on Gondor.
Gondor calls for aid,
and you just see him sit there. You're like, what's he gonna say? Because Peter Jackson went for a more, I don't want to say angsty, but he's like a younger, more, not reckless, but I would guess I'd say angsty version of Theoden, and he holds grudges. So you're just like,
yeah.
And then Rohan will answer. And then you get the horns playing the Rohan theme and prepare the Rohirrim. It's like, yes, let's do this, man.
Yeah. I literally cry every time I watch that scene. And I watched it with my wife, and she's like, why are you crying during this scene? I wish you would just understand.
Oh, there's so many memes of
get it.
Okay, this is just a scene where we're just showing some fires on some mountaintops, nothing too big.
Yeah.
Howard Shore, hold my beer. And I was just like, whoa!
Just like the camera work, coming over the mountain, and then the pan around where it's like
it scales
over the beacon, and then you see the beacon.
The scaling of it is brilliant, and you see the little people just running worst job in the world, by the way, just hanging out there alone.
That's what
maybe with your best friend, but the dedication
and
sacrifice those people, and they see that they're not hesitating. They're just like, oh man, I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've been wanting to light this thing on fire forever.
It gives me chills just thinking about it.
Oh yeah,
it is so good. It's one of them cinema perfection where everything just aligned. So perfect to make this.
And there's just something I think you would agree on. There's just something about a mountaintop over a sea of clouds.
Oh yeah.
That just I can't describe. Yeah, I can't describe it, but it has this uncontrollable, untamable respect
majesty.
To it. Yes, majesty. This untamable majesty to it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it just the portrayal of the distance it covers too, because you're looking that one where it pans around and you see the beacon way off in the distance. That's like a whole mountain range over. That's like a valley and then another mountain range, and that's a long distance. And so just the scale of it is just incredible. And it has to be my number one.
That's a great number one.
It is.
So I kind of piggybacked on that right there, but
that
one's surprisingly not my number one. So, yeah.
Do you know Futurama's parody on that scene?
No. Is it new?
It's one of the movie ones they did. It was Bender's Big Game, where they kind of make fun of D&D and Lord of the Rings, and it's these hermaphroditic centaurs are being called to fight, and they fire arrows, and they're just basically catching the same arrow from mountaintop to mountaintop, and then you get like 3 arrows in, and then you just hear it, ow!
Oh man, I'll have to watch it.
It's a good one, but doesn't quite live up to the Lord of the Rings version.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, who wants to go next?
Cool. I'll go.
Okay.
I think this is tough for me because I like too many things, and it's really hard to pick a favorite.
No, it is hard. That's why I made those rules to kind of help it.
Yeah, I think I hear like even a small tune from something, and I just like I have to find it and pick it out. Like not to go on too long of a diatribe, but Sun and Moon, Pokemon Sun and
Diatribe. Word of the day.
Dyslexia, slowly recovering from my dyslexia. Pokemon Sun and Moon, there's a Guzma, this is I guess an honorable mention, Guzma's theme, when he comes out, and they're just like these weird Pokemon gangsters, but his theme is like so rockin', and so I just like, I scoured the internet for that thing. It took me forever, but I was like, I want that. Give it to me. So when it comes to picking favorites, I just kind of had to pick like ones I like because I like too many. So
is that a Napoleon Dynamite reference?
Yeah,
I want that.
I want that. Yeah, that totally
and this
was.
could be yours.
Why don't you try and give that Tupperware a good old tear?
I can't do
You
it.
look like a big strong.
I can't do it.
All right.
That's
Don't
strong
get too
young
sidetracked, but all right. Let's see. This is a tough one. Okay, I'm gonna go with. Starting off, it's not going to be any particular
How does
order.
that notebook look
Duel
over
of
there,
Fates.
Greg? Just so many scribbles.
She's got like 8 listed.
I had to have some just in case. That's some extras. But Duel of Fates from Star Wars, Phantom Menace. Fantastic.
It's a banger.
You know, that was like my childhood. I am a prequel Star Wars fan. You know, I love the originals. They're there for, you know, what it sets up, but when it comes to Star Wars, I always go back and watch the prequels first. It's always 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, and then never really
Yeah. We'll
whatever,
forget about
7, 8,
those.
9. But
Yeah, Jeff was one of those kids that loved Jar Jar Binks.
yes, I dressed up as Anakin for Halloween. That was fantastic. Homemade costume with like off-brand lightsaber.
Yeah, I think
got
my
from the
mom just
DI.
put him in like a bathrobe.
Yeah. She cut like a tunic shape out of like some fabric. It's fantastic. But that Duel of Fates, just
Yeah, it's a good one.
so fantastic. That fight scene between
iconic.
the best Star Wars villain ever. So good.
Some
They
of the
had to
best
bring him back
choreography for
from the
lightsaber
dead.
fights,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that they had to slow down the original footage because they were going so hard.
So good.
Man, what were they feeding Ewan McGregor on that set? Holy moly.
Yeah.
I digress.
Just awesome choreography. Yeah. So good. It's like a dance. And then I'm going to go with from Return of the King, Battle of Pelennor Fields. When Theoden's prepping the army and he gives that speech. And then, of course, you know, it's the Rohirrim theme. And then just the crescendo as they're plowing down the orcs and you know, just taking them out. And then
I always
you get
loved like the big crescendo when the sun rises and they're just yelling death. It's like,
as the sun rises. So good.
oh man. Have you guys played that scene on your TV screen with your kids on your shoulders and like they have a sword and you're like, all right, yell with me. Yeah.
I'll have to do that. That'll be great.
Yeah.
I went too hard. My boy's afraid of that scene now. I yelled death too much. But he loved the giddy up part where we're charged at the orcs.
That's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. And then you get the different orcs reacting to it. Like the one that goes,
Well, that's the one where they're getting ready. Like, yeah.
Archers and
So good.
But I love Gothmog's reaction. Like, you have Aemir, he like flips up the spear and catches it. Yeah! You see Gothmog just, oh no!
They're nothing stopping them. They're coming.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have like
Another one of
the
those
Helm's
scenes.
Deep charge. I feel like is the build up for eventually that, and it's just like, oh, so good. And then the freaking elephants come.
Yeah.
Elephants? You mean Oliphants?
The Rohirrim charge.
Elephants.
The Mumakil?
Helm's Deep charge.
What is it, Derek? What do you
Well,
call
it's
them?
originally called a Mumakil, but the Oliphant was the simpler name that I think the hobbits gave to him.
Oliphants?
Yes, Oliphants.
Oliphants. Okay.
Yes, Oliphants.
There we go. Yes.
Look, Mr. Frodo.
Oliphants.
It's an Oliphant.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. I got a nasty cold going on, so you're gonna hear all kinds of noises come from me. Oh man, this is so freaking hard. So I've got 2 down. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna go with the Studio Ghibli Castle in the Sky. I haven't gotten any of these composers, but I'm sure you'll be able to look them up if you want. But The Girl Who Fell from the Sky is like the intro song when after she falls from the Zeppelin blimp thing, and then it shows kind of the storyboard of like the past of the world and all how like the cities and the skies began and everything. I mean, just the imagination that builds in you, and it's just such a beautiful song with this amazing world it's establishing, and you're just like left kind of like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is going to be an awesome movie. And I remember watching it when I was young, and a lot of these, have influence on me because when I was young, I watched them, but I remember watching this and then just like thinking, I'm going to love this movie so much. And it was so good. Just fantastic score to start off the movie. And that's, what was that, 3? This is tough. All right, I'm gonna pick Phantom of the Opera by Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler's the one singing in that one. And he kind of ruined Phantom of the Opera for me. I can't go really see. I mean, I'm sure I'd enjoy stage production, but I can't see, like, most of the time they have very operatic, which it makes sense. He's supposed to be an opera singer, and most of the time in the stage productions he's going to be an opera singer, like Pavarotti. But for some reason Gerard Butler, he was that character, and he played the Phantom, or just the way he sang the Phantom songs, so good. And that's one, like, I can't help but sit down and watch the Phantom of the Opera if it's on anywhere. It's just such a fantastic movie. The music in that one is
I do love the
incredible.
music.
I mean, all of them,
Especially
all of
the
songs.
overture, just my gosh, it's so iconic. And it just sets you up. You're like, oh, I'm in for a good time.
So good.
Which is what like an overture or an introductory song should do, where you're just like, oh man, I am just in for a good time tonight. This is great.
Oh yeah.
So does that count as a score, though?
Yeah, there's
Beastly
lyrics,
story.
because a score is usually instrumental, whereas a soundtrack has lyrics. I was going to start saying that when I started my top 5.
I
but
obviously didn't get that.
we'll give you a pass.
I thought of score, and I thought
just say like
music.
just say the overture for
make
Phantom
sure
of
it's
the
angled
Opera.
towards the mouth.
You
There
don't
you
get
go.
another pick, though. Sorry.
So, I mean, there's a big score in it, and it's got the score of the movie in it, I guess.
We'll let it slide.
I obviously didn't understand the full word of score, but all right, that's gonna change my other picks.
Shoot, what have we done?
No, it's okay. I got one. I'm gonna go with "He's a Pirate" from Curse of the Black Pearl.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That is a classic.
Something about that violin, just rocking it. Yeah. Same with like Battle of Pelennor Fields, just fantastic.
Oh yeah, I just imagine the violinists just playing and like it's just on fire. Their bowstrings on fire. Because I don't know if any of you guys have seen. None of you guys have seen the album cover for Camelot's Ghost Opera album, but they have like a violinist just going. Yeah. and it's like on fire. Their eyes are like covered because they're going so ham. Like it's such a dope album. Oh, it's such a dope album cover. That's such a dope album.
That's awesome.
But that's what I imagine when I just see.
Yeah.
But you digress.
Yes, I digress.
We went from like very few comments during Greg's to let's comment on Jeff's.
We're not going to have to discuss it after. At this point.
No, not too much. But I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean, all these movies, I'd say, influenced, of course, when I was young watching it, and just shows the power of a score to not only then, but how much it makes me appreciate the movies now. Like you said with Transformers, you kind of realize it might not have been the best movie, and you're kind of like disappointed by some things with it now, but then you're like, you're still looking back on it with the score, with the action, you're like, dang, yeah, there's some things I love.
The score is one of the things, are like one of my pillars for a good film, because it can elevate a film.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, like you said, with Transformers.
Makes 100%
Yeah, that
difference.
movie's so crude
Totally.
and crass and worldly at a lot of the times, but when you get that score going, you're just like, I am not watching a piece of crap film. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
So you're more forgiving when there's an awesome score with it. Wait, was that number 5, Jeff?
I think so. We'll just go with that.
Since you just think so, yeah, we'll just say yeah. Let us know in the comments if it was only 4. Okay, so with a score, I didn't know it was just focusing on one, because I thought a score meant like the whole instrumental factor of a movie.
See, yeah, I had to look it up just to make sure. But
Okay.
it is basically, it can be a song.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to
I
narrow it
honestly
down
didn't
here.
look it up, and I thought, it's just music.
Well, the honorable mention for me is Jeff Williams' work in the TV show or the web series Red vs. Blue, mostly in seasons 8 through 10. Brilliant work. If I have to pick a song, it'll be Spiral. Especially, that's the one where Agent Carolina is chasing down the guy with the briefcase in the heist. It is amazing.
It's kind of funny because you haven't played Halo.
Yeah,
but you've watched all of Red vs. Blue.
And I watch that every year, man. It is my comfort show,
I have
and I've
not
never
watched
played
Red
Halo.
vs. Blue, but I've played all of Halo.
Oh, dude. I need to play Halo because they use the lore in Red vs. Blue with the AI and stuff. So I'm
just
like,
gotta watch. I know
like,
I need to watch it just because it's how iconic it is.
Oh man, it is so.
I think it's
fun.
your
Just
kind
do
of humor.
seasons 1 through 13. Everything after that, you can just skip. You can do it if you want. It's still not a waste of time, but 13 had the best ending, in my opinion.
Okay.
You can end on season 10.
Cool.
That has a great ending as well, but oh my gosh, it's so good. But that's an honorable mention because the TV show. Now, my number 5 is, I was surprised by this one. I surprised myself. It's actually the main theme for The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz, with that Roman Catholic just chanting along with it, and it's just in your face. It's loud. It's there. It just has that authority that the Catholic Church had at that time. And seeing as how the best song from that movie, Hellfire, basically he sings the main theme. That's the only song that sings the main theme outright in it. It's just so good. The YouTuber Sideways, he's a musical, not theorist, musical major or something. And he does a great video dissecting that.
That's awesome.
Number
that's
4,
fantastic.
which I'm very surprised I didn't see any of you guys pick, was Molasses by Hans Zimmer from Batman Begins.
You know,
Or Why So Serious from The Dark Knight.
yeah, they're right up there.
Hans Zimmer.
It was hard.
Yeah, the big 3 composers for me that we had to have on this list, which I think we all had, is Hans Zimmer, John Williams, and Howard Shore.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer, I feel like, is the best at majesty and presence. Like those moments, he can just really like he goes
it baffles
hard.
me how he can just keep coming up with stuff.
He just goes.
It's crazy.
He's like, I think the best at like theme, like fitting the theme of the
Well,
movie.
I would probably argue that John Williams is the best at theme.
Really?
Because after all, his main themes: Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Jaws, they are the most iconic of all time. They're the most recognizable.
Crazy.
I feel like Hans Zimmer just really, he goes the hardest. Like Dune Part 1, where Paul is just on the beach ready to go to Arrakis, and that music is going. I'm like, why is he going so hard, man? This is crazy. And he did Lion King.
Awesome.
He did The Prince of Egypt, which The Prince of Egypt went freaking hard too. Like,
so good.
And just in Kung Fu Panda, when Oogway ascends, Hans Zimmer's work. He's just going so hard in this goofy Kung Fu movie. It's like, why, dude? Why are you doing this? But Molasses, that's your ringtone, Greg, is Molasses just dun, dun,
Nice.
dun, whenever you call me. Dun, dun. And of course, number 3, I have already geeked out enough on this podcast about John Williams' score, main theme for Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Just that beautiful hymn-like and like a resurrection miracle-like. I love it. Check out our episode on that to see me say more, so I don't have to say too much. And number 2, I just had the whole score for The Lord of the Rings, but if I had to pick one out of the 3 movies, the White Tree is really good because I love that. And in fact, that's one of the songs I play with my kid when we're running around sword fighting in the house. But it's kind of a toss-up for me between the breaking of the fellowship.
Yes.
Because you get that wonderful, in dreams, the Shire, not the Shire theme, but like just that in dreams, do 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 do, and that's when you get the sadness of Sam drowning, and then it gets more like hopeful near the end, and then you get the kids singing at the end, which is beautiful. But I also love the bridge of Khazad-dûm, which, you know, you get the main theme, dun 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 dun, dun, and they're running through, and then you get the music of the Balrog just shaking the place, and it is oppressive. You got the drums, and you get those deep, those hard hitting drums when Gandalf is hanging on the edge, and then it goes silent as he falls, and then it goes to the chant of, and it just emits sorrow and grief, as if, because to Aragorn and I believe, Aragorn and Legolas, that was like them watching Jesus die. It was watching the most holy or like ethereal person
Like
be
an
defeated.
angel.
Yeah, like an angel be defeated and die. And Orlando Bloom did such a good job in that scene because he's an elf, he's never seen death, and he's seeing everyone else's reaction. He's like, he looks at such a loss, like he doesn't know how to process these feelings.
Could have been Orlando Bloom not knowing how to act.
But like from my personal headcanon, it worked so good.
Hey, he only got paid like $100,000.
He did.
The whole series.
He did. But another great one is the music at, I believe it's Amenhen, when Boromir is getting shot, because you get the Elvish chorus. And when you translate those lyrics, it's actually the words that Faramir says in The Two Towers of, I do not love the arrow for its swiftness, the sword for its for the way the sword swings, and nor the hero for its glory, but I love them for that which they defend. And the fact that they're saying that when he's defending Merry and Pippin and just tanking damage, it just hits so hard. Like the intentionalness that Howard Shore had in his composing.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this now, dude.
Yeah, the intentions that he had with all his musical choices and the work of leitmotifs as well. Because I believe a score needs to have some storytelling factor to it. Like with Rohan, when you first hear its theme, it's very sad. It's a single violin because you see Edoras. It's under Saruman's influence, and then it just gets grander as Rohan gets grander. It's a great storytelling theme.
Yeah,
and like Howard Shore really uses violins perfectly to make us care. Digressing though, because that's not my number one pick. I got to stop there now. Because I've watched a lot of music theory videos on the score of Lord of the Rings alone.
Yeah.
That's why I made the rule. We can only pick one from
yes.
the series.
So, and that hasn't
it
really
would probably
stopped us.
be my top 5 would be from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. But number 1 is John Powell's, in my opinion, magnum opus, Test Drive.
Yes.
From How to Train Your Dragon, which I love so much, just to capture the feeling of riding a dragon through the skies as no one has ever done before.
It's just
it
so
is amazing.
triumphant.
It is amazing. And even in the middle when they're falling, you hear the spiraling, you hear you get that feeling of they are in trouble. And as soon as they get back on, and Toothless, spreads his wings out, and he's just like trying to stop the air. You see the air current. You feel the weight in the song. Just boom! Ah! And you're like,
Oh my
man,
gosh,
what are they going to do? And then it like crescendos. It like, oh my gosh, it just... I'm struggling on words because I'm just thinking about it too much. It just erupts into a glorious just triumph as they're weaving through the rocks. He throws the cheat sheet to the wind and just masters the flying. Oh, yeah. It is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love How to Train Your Dragon so much. That is a movie I'm so glad they did not go over the books.
So well.
They were not faithful to the books, and it worked for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you guys want to talk about with your picks?
I think we hit it all.
Yeah.
That was great.
Can't say there's much more to touch on, but I mean, all those are fantastic. Like I said, with mine, it's hard to pick any favorites because it really is my mood. If I want something happy-go-lucky, I listen to Concerning the Hobbits or...
See, that's where the score is just so awesome because it helps with the storytelling, it helps with the world building. Concerning Hobbits establishes this is a peaceful place. This is a place where you can relax. And, the ticking from Interstellar,
it just builds anxiety.
Just so cool,
Yeah.
and it builds that anxiety. It puts you in the headspace without using any words.
Because it's like 1.4 seconds every tick, and so it feels
like
off.
Yeah.
So it's unsettling too.
Yeah, it's unsettling, anxious, and it's so cool.
Yeah, so like a score is, in my opinion, necessary for good storytelling in cinema because like that, it helps set the mood, it helps set the world building, it sets the tone. It can transcend a good movie to become a great movie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, here's, a question. Is there any movie, we kind of mentioned Transformers, but is there any movie like you just could not watch but you would go for the score, or you'd like listen for the score? You guys think of any?
I know there's one, but it's not coming to me right now.
Yeah,
because I bet you there is one. Oh man,
trying to think. I'd have to look at my list, my playlist, because I have a big playlist with just all scores.
Yeah,
it's called Chill.
Nice. It's hard to say because like you said, a good movie tends to follow like with a good score. I would say there's like Studio Ghibli has some fantastic movies and it's got some less fantastic, like Howl's Moving Castle. I know it has great music, but the movie itself I cannot stand. I absolutely hate it, and so it's like,
I guess now that you'd say that, it's not the score per se, but the music. I didn't really like the story of The Greatest Showman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the way it was advertised, I thought it was going to be like a found family film, but it didn't really focus on that. But the music is great. I'm always listening to the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I'm never going back watching that film, even though I love Hugh Jackman as a musical artist.
Yeah.
He's so talented, but like,
it kind of makes sense. Those songs are
a little,
like
can be like
The
played
Greatest Showman
anywhere.
is like, if I want to see a song, because the choreography was amazing too. If I want to see a song, I'll just look up that clip. I'm never gonna watch the movie again, and I'm just annoyed at seeing Zendaya. So I'm so mad she was in that film. I don't know what I have against her, but she just. I don't know. She's just so meh.
Yeah. But anyways, I was gonna say it's not really a bad movie, but National Treasure.
Okay.
The Ben. It's actually such a banger. The score in that. I mean, I would also kind of put Pirates of the Caribbean on that as not a great movie. Rewatching it, it's not it doesn't live up to how it was when I was younger.
That's so funny. I'm like the opposite.
Another bad set of films. Another bad set of films that does get transcended because of its music is the Hobbit films. Because there was some bangers in there, like the Dwarven song. I'm always chanting that thing. And I might go back and watch the extended editions of the Hobbit films, but I get so mad with a lot of the choices they made. And there's the animated film from like 1978, I think. That's only like 90 minutes, and it's such a banger. And that has a
down the goblin, down the goblin, down. You go, my lad. Oh, my lad.
Yeah, that's got a banger soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Like,
so good.
That's what I sing to my son as we go down the stairs, just like down the goblin, down. But yeah, that one is the superior Hobbit film. I love it so much.
Your son's gonna be such a big nerd.
He's gonna rebel actually and just be a total jock.
He just might. I don't know. At this point, I have no idea. He's such a sweet kid, so I can't see him rebelling yet. And my wife watches other people's kids, and we've seen how he is around kids. Like, he turns into my wife's like assistant manager with other kids. Like, she tells the other kids, "Hey, cover your mouth." You go, you gotta do that, dude. Like,
they say
the
oldest boy becomes the male version of the mother. So,
well, my wife was the oldest, and she's like the most responsible out of all her siblings. And she's anytime he does something right, she's like, "Oh shoot, your oldest childness is showing, dude." Because he'll like put away stuff when we tell him, "Okay, time to go to bed." And he like puts it away all nice, and I'm like, I did not teach him that.
Nice.
I did not teach. I'm like, he's too good. So now I'm worried he's going to be like so good. He's like going to make millions of dollars, just give it all to the homeless and do nothing with it. Anyway.
Sweet.
Yeah. Anyways,
should we
let's
move on
get
to
into
our
a
next
hot take.
Well, it's funny that you had these wallets here, Greg, and you chose The Hobbit, so it might not be a hot take. But my hot take was, book-wise, we're not talking about the films here, book-wise, The Hobbit is better than The Lord of the Rings. Ooh. That is my hot take, which that's not to say that The Lord of the Rings, it's never terrible. Not in any regard.
Derek, if I would have known that you believed this, I would have gotten you The Hobbit.
That's why I found it was funny. But yeah, like The Hobbit is my favorite book, probably of all time. And my reasons for that being is, first off, I'd like to call it Tolkien's magnum opus, which that is a fancy term for saying it's his most important work. A lot of people say Lord of the Rings is because it's his most well-known work.
I thought it meant like magnum fruit or something, magnum oranges.
No, you simpleton. No, like the magnum opus is not their most well-known work, but the most important. That being because he developed the concept of hobbits, which everyone loved. And that's what...
Staple of fantasy now.
Staple of fantasy now. It's what made the masses just beg for more. And he's like, okay, I'll give you The Lord of the Rings, which this is him just doing a sequel because he was begged to. He dedicates 10 years to that. And the four of the main characters are hobbits. And you get more lore into the hobbits and to the world building there. That would never happen without The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
Second, it was a children's story at first. For me, simple is always better. If you can convey high ideals and big factors, big ideas and concepts simply, you are a banger. I said it in our I Am Legend episode. If you can do more with less, you are just a fantastic writer. Like, because I'm not against long stories. I'm against bloat. And The Hobbit, since it's simpler, I know a lot of people get deterred when reading The Lord of the Rings because Tolkien describes so much. And he does go on these tangents, which that is a lot more fun to read after you read the Silmarillion because he references a bunch of stuff in the Silmarillion. However, the Silmarillion is also very difficult for readers to digest. And so The Hobbit, it's more focused. It's more whimsical. So I love whimsy. It's just so much fun, which I feel is a staple of fantasy. Yeah. To have that whimsy. And second of all, not second. Why do I keep saying second of all? This is like fourth. Fourth of all, J.R.R. Tolkien is quoted saying, "It is not a story worth telling if there is not a dragon in it." The Lord of the Rings does not have a dragon.
That was
The Hobbit does, and it is Smaug, the chiefest and greatest of all calamities, the last true great winged fire drake in Middle Earth at that time. And boy, is he great. He is cunning, he is imposing, he is monstrous and prideful, just everything an archetypal treasure hoarding dragon should be. And I love it. I love his cunning as he tries to trick Bilbo into giving clues about himself, as he tries to lay seeds of doubt with the dwarves. And when he just goes out of the mountain with fire, he's described as a monstrous crow. And he just lays waste to Lake Town. And just his monologue of how he boasts, I remembered so much, which best voice for Smaug was Richard Boone in the animated version. Sorry, Benedict Cumberdoodle. Like, Richard Boone had that nice, low guttural. However, the animated version of Smaug is too cat-like. I do not like the design choice.
Yeah.
Where he's got fur.
Interesting, yeah.
But,
Oh, man.
Let me know if you guys can fight that or you debate it. But
I definitely,
if you like the Lord of the Rings more than the Hobbit, I get that. Like, because the Lord of the Rings, it has the Balrog. Oh my gosh, that is another staple of fantasy. Just a primordial fire demon. Balrog. You have the other hobbits because you have the friendship of Sam and Frodo and Merry and Pippin. You have the heroism of the small folk. Center stage still, just like the Hobbit, and it's explored more. You just get all the
definitely
wars.
like a grown up thing, like growing up thing. Because you're like you said, the Hobbit's pretty whimsical, while the Lord of the Rings goes into a lot more serious and like this is like world altering stuff, kind of things. But I totally agree. I mean, when it came to reading them. Just the beginning of Lord of the Rings, when you're reading like the prequel, like Hobbit history, I was like, what did I pick up? I'm like, this isn't Lord of the Rings. What is this? It's a history book.
Tolkien was a very meticulous man. Like, there are some chapters in the Lord of the Rings where I'm like, he probably had the most fun writing this because he's like, I get to go on a tangent and no one's going to interrupt me here. Like, the Council of Elrond, I think, is one of those where they're just, I want to give all this backstory to stuff, and here's a perfect time to do it.
Exactly. I like to think of, I couldn't imagine how it would be if you read Lord of the Rings first and then went to The Hobbit. That would be an interesting conversation with somebody.
I can't imagine that either.
Like, how would they feel? Like, would they feel like The Hobbit was actually juvenile? Because, like, for me, The Hobbit feels very grown up.
Well, yeah, I don't feel like it's juvenile.
Because I'm pretty mature,
it's a kid's story that matures with you the more you read it.
Yeah.
Which, like, I'm always a big proponent for. Let the kids learn about the mature stuff. Let's expose them in small doses to the darkness of the world, knowing that it's there. They don't have to accept it. Like, when a movie or a book doesn't talk down to the kids, I respect that so much. Because kids deserve great stories too. Hence why many of my favorite films are animated kids films, because I know I can enjoy it with any of my kids. I don't just have to wait for them to get to a certain age. I can enjoy it with them then and there.
Exactly.
And as well, my favorite Tolkien quote, or quote from one of his books, is from The Hobbit, of Thorin's dying words to Bilbo, that if more people valued food, oh shoot, I'm blanking on it. More people valued food, a home, and cheer, or you guys got me on the spot. Now I feel I'm so embarrassed. You know the quote I'm talking about, where he says, if more people valued these things over hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world, which is the book quote that has stuck to me the most, especially coming from Thorin, who was infected with dragon sickness. The whole reason he's on this quest is for the hoarded gold. And he realizes on his deathbed what Bilbo did for him, and it was truly a favor.
So good.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
Not really hot take amongst us, Derek. I am in agreement as well. Like,
sorry.
The Hobbit, it's just so special to me. Like, not to take anything away from Lord of the Rings and how amazing that is, it might just be that I read The Hobbit first, when I was younger and just fell in love with it. But I just absolutely love, like, Tolkien just bringing The Hobbit and making what Bilbo was and making him into the hero.
The fundamentals in there are awesome because they have challenges. He's bailed out by Gandalf multiple times, but then you get to the spiders.
Yeah,
and it's
there's
Bilbo
no Gandalf.
stepping up there. He steps up, and you see what he's truly capable of.
The wood elves too, and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fantastic.
This came to mind, and this is something I've thought about, and this might be a hot take amongst us. So I don't know if I want to even bring it up, but I have to say it. I think Bilbo is the best Hobbit of all time. Ooh. And I know we got a lot of...
Are we going off of like books and movies, or primarily books?
Primarily books, I would say, because that is the canon. Ooh, I'm still a Samwise Gamgee supporter.
I love Sam, but the fact that Bilbo was able to give up the ring after having it that long just speaks volume to his character.
Yeah, what was it, like 50 years?
111
No, it was about 60. It was about 60 years because he was 50 when he left on The Hobbit, and when he gave it up on his 111th birthday, it's about 61 years. If you go with the math there,
Derek would know.
But not to get off topic, but that's kind of my reasoning. I also think Sam. It's so hard because he is that just loyal, perfect friend.
Yes.
Character.
I think the Lord of the Rings books just didn't stick with me enough that I can't really, I just have to agree because Bilbo, I feel like he's a character I totally get, and like, everything in the book, I'm like, I understand Bilbo. When it came to the Lord of the Rings books, it felt a little disconjointed to really be able to connect as much as I did in the movie. So, I can see that.
We need better hot takes. We're too like-minded, guys. maybe I should have told you my original idea for the hot take. My hot take was going to be The Dark Knight Rises is only seen as a good film because of the first two films, but we'll save that for another episode because I know you would disagree with it.
I might agree.
Well, you had a hot take last episode, Derek.
I did?
Where you said Red Rising. Well,
it's better than Ender's Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say? Red Rising could run, or Ender's Game walks, so Red Rising could run. I'm just like,
no. You said Ender's Game ran or walked,
I was saying
Red Rising could
Ocarina
run.
of Time could walk, so Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask could run, and then
we
later
need to pull
on,
up the
Derek,
tapes. We need the instant replay. We got it on video.
Later on, you did mention and how you felt Red Rising could be superior to Ender's Game in some ways.
Okay, I'm not gonna try and double down on my stance here because we have it on video, and I am just realizing I might be wrong. So I'm actually gonna maybe bend the knee.
I don't disagree with that idea. I do think Ender's Game is special, but Red Rising does have a quality to it.
I will die on that hill. The Ender's Game. I love Red Rising.
Well, Pierce Brown might agree with you since he had that little homage to Ender in Red Rising. And since we were on The Hobbit, he had his Hobbit reference in Golden Sun, which just made me I was so happy. And it's Sepro who says it too. My favorite character. This is awesome. And just gave to him, it's the eye, an eyeball. Gory damn, who told you?
Well, good hot take.
Sorry,
I think that'll be it.
Well, Jeff's hot take was really good on Instagram. Apparently, everyone thought Jeff was an idiot.
You say anything about Ocarina of Time, and you're gonna get lynched.
Don't worry, there are some bad claims on me because I said Twilight Princess was my favorite because it was my first one. I saw so many comments of Everyone's favorite Zelda game is the one they played when they were 12. You fool! I didn't get to play Zelda till I was 17, so I had no childhood nostalgia with it.
Joke's on you, apparently.
Yeah, I had parents who hated video games, so like I didn't get them often. And I played it on the Wii too, which replaying Twilight Princess on the Wii kind of sucks. You gotta play it on the Game Boy, man. Yeah. Not Game Boy, the GameCube.
That would be a downgrade a little bit. Yeah.
You gotta play on the GameCube. It's way more challenging.
I've heard Wii U is the superior because you can use the GameCube controls on the Wii U.
Oh,
so you get the improved graphics, improved experience, but with GameCube controls.
Okay.
Or the Wii U controls, I guess.
Well, anyway, that's our hot take. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if I am just a fool. Roast.
What was the hot take? I kind of forgot.
Are we just a group of fools? Am I the king of fools?
Now, come movie. Like, it's not.
Oh, hands down, Lord of the Rings is way better. Yeah, that's not an argument, and I don't think that's a hot take.
Granted, I think because of the books, the Lord of the Rings movie is superior. So I think you can say that.
Mm-hmm. It's just so disappointing that like the route Peter Jackson went with the Hobbit movies.
Well, I think it was a huge mess to begin with because I don't think he was the original director. I think it was.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Who's the one that did the new Pinocchio movie?
Oh, Guillermo
del Toro. I think he was the first one signed on, and he started some
that
work.
Would be interesting.
And then Peter Jackson came in. He kind of tried to he was on less time.
Guillermo can be pretty good when it comes to lore. So it'd be interesting to see what he was doing.
I could have been,
the studio for pushing for 3.
I didn't.
Yeah,
that was. Didn't need 3.
That was an awful choice.
They're oh man, it would be such an easy book to adapt.
Cut of the Hobbit.
I agree.
That takes all 3 movies and puts them into one and like cuts out everything that shouldn't be in there.
Perhaps.
So we'll have to have like a movie night and review that.
Yeah, we need to do that.
I want to watch it,
and we can all talk about how they did our boy Bjorn dirty in those movies. Golly!
Oh, no kidding. They did a lot.
Actually, I've never seen the other 2. I've only seen the first part. So I can't say I'm too experienced.
I was excited to see him join the Battle of 5 Armies, only to see nothing happen. he gets dropped from the mothership from the Eagles, and then that's
happens with the battle. It's just Bilbo falls out.
Well, nothing happens for Bilbo, but what you hear, a lot happened in the battle. Okay,
yeah.
And it was cool.
After the fact,
Bjorn went beast mode. Literally, it was so cool.
Oh yeah,
golly. Anyway, let's talk about. Or is there another segment we got? I say let's talk about the book.
Let's talk about player piano.
All right.
Yeah.
So Jeff,
all right.
You picked player piano. Tell us why.
All right. Well, first I want to start off summary of the book and give you guys a little. We're gonna do a little non-spoiler bit, just small section. Start us off, but. Player Piano is a satirical dystopian novel set in a near-future society where machines and automated systems have replaced most human labor, leaving only a small technical and managerial elite with meaningful work while the majority of people live comfortably but without purpose. The story follows an engineer who begins to question the social order and the cost of efficiency in a world run almost entirely by technology. Through dark humor and sharp social commentary, Kurt Vonnegut explores themes of automation, class division, identity, and what gives human life value when productivity is no longer necessary.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Sorry to
As usual, when I go on a longer than 10-second dialogue, Greg loses focus.
I was hearing some breathing. Was that you, Derek?
Some breathing?
Breathing.
Was it me?
Might have been me on top of my talking, trying to.
Yeah, I thought I was staying pretty far away from my microphone, so I don't know.
Sorry. we can get back.
I want to say I did get that from ChatGPT. So Kurt Vonnegut would appreciate that.
That actually is kind of on theme, using automation to explain his book that argues against automation.
Well, I would say yes and no. It argues in some ways, yes, but we'll get into that. All right. For a non-spoiler discussion, I wanted to get into first impressions with you guys. I guess in a non-spoiler way, what did you think when you first dived into the book? Was it what you expected?
No, like when you read the summary on like Google, it makes it seem like it's because it says it's like satire. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of going into it thinking, oh, what if thinking it's going to be like Douglas Adams funny. But it's very very like subtle humor, and his humor is often described as dark humor. So
yeah, I can see that.
I don't know, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. I was expecting more like almost dystopian feel.
More George Orwell style. Yeah, I can say I was the same way. I have not read any Kurt Vonnegut. I've only heard a lot about his books and heard good things about him, but I honestly was expecting like a bigger, higher action book. This one was not anywhere near that. It is very much like the ChatGPT said, a social commentary using
I never looked up what it was before reading it the first time, and so I had no idea it was satire. And like Greg said, very subtle humor, so a lot of it went over my head my first time. And I was expecting more of a George Orwellian novel with it, but like I wasn't like you said, I was expecting more action. The more I read, I was like, oh, this is culminating into like some kind of powder keg thing. There's going to be a big climax, and there's going to be a lot of action here pretty soon. And it really stifled that.
You're just kind of like, oh,
like it does get action.
That happened
for those who are. I'm trying not to be too spoilery right now, since we're trying to keep this section spoiler free. Yeah. But it does get action packed, just for a short time. It's like a musket.
Yeah.
Bam.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. A lot of smoke
over just
and
that fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was. It's one of those books that is just not my type of genre. I struggle to kind of like stay focused. If I was able to sit down and like read it, I'd be able to focus better. But like as I'm listening to it on the audiobook and working, it's so easy for my mind to just wander, because it is like dialogue driven. Yeah. The story. Okay. Which I do think his dialogue is really good in this. But
that's true.
The characters often go on tangents. And so that's kind of hard.
And random characters too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Which there is, I would say, a suitable cast of characters. Like most of them they're fine. Like I'm probably not going to be the most passionate about these characters in this episode. And they serve their purposes, I can see, but
not a lot of character development.
At least not what I saw my first two times. I could be missing something. Like I missed the humor too. Okay. Like I am willing to admit if I am not seeing the vision of Kurt Vonnegut, but I believe this was his very first novel. So, and a lot of the reviews I saw from other people said, this is where he didn't really nail the dark humor that he's known for. Yeah. Okay. So and there is dark humor in there, which surprised me.
Oh yeah. This is one of the big things with this that I noticed as I read through it, was this book is it's not going to reach the audience it's meant to reach. And like for who this book is for, it's not really the people that are going to actually need to be thinking about automation.
And who is this book for, Jeff? Now that you mention that.
Yeah, that was a hard thing for me to think about too. 'Cause it really is like just a social commentary book, and I'd say, yeah, sure, if you do like George Orwell, you will find this interesting, but it really is kind of if you're okay with a slower paced book that does build itself on dialogue. Dialogue is its strong suit between characters and building scenes. If you like that kind of book, great. And that's the thing, like the people who are ingrained in actually probably encouraging automation aren't going to be the kind of people that I imagine are going to read this, because they're usually a more fast-paced mind. We don't want something more high octane, high action. Well, this book just doesn't have that.
Yeah, I would probably, to pinpoint it down, what I think who this book is for the rising generation that we have, who will want the more high octane, just want action, or they want little opposition in life, which is what's the current generation, Gen Z, who are the TikTok generation, where we're being trained to have low attention spans with the short form content and everything. This book is the argument against automation, against ease, against machines doing all the little things and giving you all the leisure time that you could possibly ask for. And the problem is it's being explained in a medium that generation, the people that should be reading this, cannot digest or refuse to overcome to digest, kind of thing. So like you said, the people that this book is made for, they probably never will.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you either of you read Brave New World?
No, I haven't.
That one, I think I dived into it just the beginning, and just the reviews alone kind of set me in a terrified mindset, because it was right after 1984. I read 1984, and my dad said, you should look up Brave New World, and it's all about I believe in that book they have a way of reproducing kids without the natural way.
Okay.
And it sounded so terrifying to me, and the fact
Check
that
this one out.
It sounds so terrifying. So we may jump into it maybe for a Halloween episode, or next time our government does something stupid. That could be our month for.
Yeah. Well, I heard apparently Vonnegut, his big influence for Player Piano was Brave New World.
Oh, okay.
He credits his idea for Player Piano from that book,
which would make it a pretty old book considering what Player Piano was written in the 50s.
Player Piano was written 51, I believe.
51? Holy cow, yeah.
And then Brave New World, I think, was 1932, before World War II.
That's wild.
Yeah, but I think a lot of other books reference Brave New World, because there's been a few books I've read. I don't know if you guys read the Michael Vey series.
Oh, no.
There's a monologue in there where the bad guy tells all his new recruits, it's a brave new world, gentlemen. And I just get...
This tells how much younger Derek is than me and Greg. He read Michael Vey.
I only the first two books, okay? Well, and I'm just a year younger than you, Jeff. Shut up.
We've also learned that Derek is also late to the table on a lot of things.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I didn't enjoy reading until it was I really slept on how
kids.
Nice
he got one
is.
pumped out before either of us.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, you're winning in life better than
No, don't say better. It's not a competition, okay? It's not a competition.
But yeah.
If you're counting, Greg's winning. He's got 2. I got 1 on the way.
Yeah, if you want to count that as
a second on the way, I should say.
No, it was a win. That was great. I love my babies. Anyways, back to Brave New World. Kurt Vonnegut, I think a lot of his influence is based off World War II. Because I think he was in the military.
Yeah. Well, World War II was industry, right? Or that's really what sparked it.
Yeah, so the book itself is it takes place after World War III, essentially, that all the men went off to war, and they had to come up with a way to keep industry going, and so they came up with these automated machines.
And that was like the big thing that got them to win the war. The country could still run just as efficiently with all the men gone off to war. And so like it was hard for the other countries to compete with that. They were losing infrastructure when they were sending all their men out in the war.
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes right out of the gate, arguing that the automation is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the men came back, then they didn't need to go back to work because the machines pretty much did all the work for them, and so they are essentially given like government benefits to live on. You know, they don't have to work, but they are given like just enough money to live on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else non-spoiler. There's not really a ton of spoilers.
That really dives into it well enough, I think.
Yeah.
It really is. I think there is an audience for this book, but we're going to dive in, and then you can really determine, hey, if this book is, we're going to dive into all the details now.
Do I think it's worth a read for most everybody? I do. I do think it is. I think there is lessons to learn from it, but you know, you'll see just as we discuss it more. But from now on, spoilers. If you haven't read it, and
Here
don't want
we
to be
go.
spoiled, go and read it and come back.
Oh yeah. Well, I want to really get into some of the themes in the book and the what I absolutely enjoyed, and I find this kind of appealing about retro futuristic movies, kind of what the Fantastic Four film did with its style, where it's like,
which one you talking about?
Like the newest
one. Yeah, where everything is like still CRT TVs, tapes, and like audio tape and like magnetic tape. Like when he talks about the machines, and when Paul is walking through the factory and he goes up to one of the unit that's basically running all the machines, and he opens it up and it's a tape system. Now, did you guys catch that when you're reading?
No. I'll just be honest. No.
I mean, I've been getting into like kind of older stuff lately.
Yeah.
I've gotten a CRT TV. I've picked up VHS player and been watching all kinds of VHS movies, which is weird saying it's old, but it's like
that was our childhood.
Yeah, that's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
I mean, just so funny to think when you're writing a book about the future and you look at your current technology, right? Like you think about digital, like everything we do futuristic now, most everything we do futuristic wise now, when we depict it, it's all digital, which is the technology we have right now. Back then, they had the analog technology. And so that's kind of how Kurt Vonnegut decided to depict everything, was through analog. Everything's running on tapes, which I just can't imagine even how that would work. It's like, I guess he said they recorded the worker doing the task and then put it onto the tape so the machine could basically mimic it. Which is kind of fascinating. Like, it would be incredible to see this like put in a visual form. Like, how would you even accomplish this using analog technology? Because I can see it with digital. I mean, we're pretty much doing it now with digital, but like, how would you even do it with like a VHS tape or a cassette tape? That's kind of weird.
I don't know, and that's what makes it so interesting with us going into these books that are depicting the future at the time. But then, like, with what we have now, we're like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, it's the same discussion we had with the ear, the eye, and the arm when, like, Trash Man takes the bottle cap, puts it in the vending machine, and pulls it out. You're like, yeah, that wouldn't work.
How does a hyper-futuristic vending machine still accept bottle caps?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were like, well, how the heck does it do that? But, you know, at the time, that seemed like perfectly normal.
That would probably never change.
Yeah, that would probably never change. And Kurt Vonnegut going with the analog system, thinking, you know, we would just develop that further. Instead, we went digital, and we're now thinking the same thing. When we all do our futuristic stuff, we're thinking, yeah, it'd be more digital, sleek, and just LCD screens or LED screens just glowing brightly, giving us that blue light everywhere. So I'm starting to think maybe we'll have the same kind of thing 60 years from now, where we're going to have all these futuristic books depicting stuff, and we'll be like, well, they got that wrong. Not everyone can be Orson Scott Card and just call out an iPad.
Oh yeah. I would, like I said, I would absolutely love to see it. I just had a thought with it, with the digital. Crap, what was it?
Must have not been important.
No, it totally came in my brain as you were talking, and then as you went on to the Orson Scott Card bit, it left. Crap, but
dang, I'm sorry. I can't help you there.
It was such a good thought too, but
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So, my brain is
Okay.
I'm going to blame the sickness. Sorry.
So yeah, Paul Proteus,
He's the main character.
He's the main character. And, I wouldn't even go as far as to say he's the hero in this story, because there's really no, like...
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a bad guy or a good guy.
Yeah.
Paul is more of the vehicle for which you can experience the story. And I guess one thing we didn't address in our spoiler-free is that the society, the people, they're kind of dissected into the higher elites. They're the engineers, the ones who develop the machines, design the machines. They're basically, the technomancers of the world, and anyone else who just works or, can't work. So they're just put into the army because they can't do anything else.
Yeah, they call the army and then the reclamation.
Yeah. And they're
which is like construction and electricians.
Yeah, it's basically more of they separate people into lower IQs to higher IQs, and they even put it on
IQ based.
All on public records. Like you can look up anyone's IQ. Everyone gets their IQ tested, and because of that, it kind of determines your future. Which that's a very bleak world to live in as well. Because if we're going off of my ACT score, dang. I am in trouble.
It would have been interesting for us all to we should have taken an IQ test to see how we would have been placed.
Oh yeah, that would have been actually pretty fun.
See where we're at.
See where we're all at.
In terms of degrees, I got 2 of them. So
I guess that makes you the hotter guy because you got more degrees. But Paul Proteus, he's one of the upper echelon people. Like even in the first chapter, he's described as the highest paid person in Ilium, New York, right? It's in New York.
I think it's Pennsylvania, isn't it?
No, it's New York.
Yeah, Ilium, New York.
Oh,
he's the highest paid person, highest paid man there. He's one of the greatest. And when he goes, like the other side of the river is basically the dividing line between these smart people.
Homestead.
Yes.
And it's he explains it as like you don't need to go across, like Homestead doesn't need to come across to the industry side, and the industry side doesn't need to go over there. The only reason you would do it is just curiosity to see what.
Yeah, you're free to come and go, so there's no like oppression there, but they usually keep to themselves. But because Paul Proteus, he's such, I guess, one of the more profound or renowned engineers of his time.
His father was known to be like a prominent engineer, and so he was kind of following in his footsteps as being
he's kind of like
a leader in
somewhat of a celebrity. Like even the low IQ people know his name and know who he is.
Yeah. I remembered the thing. I interject here.
I remember
now,
the thing.
What do you guys think technology would look like? So, like from analog to digital, what would be beyond digital? I mean, you're the sci-fi space person watching Interstellar. Like, you think what do you got in mind?
I'm thinking holograms.
Holograms? It's all like ether based.
Yeah, instead of FaceTime, you just have a hologram where you have the person stand right in front of you. You can just talk like you're having a normal conversation.
Still kind of based on digital things?
I guess so.
See, I think it'll be more like telepathic.
Yeah.
I think...
dude, don't say that. That scares me. That means the government has to put chips in our head.
Chips in your head, and you'll just see it. It won't need to be projected.
Okay.
No.
Just see it in your vision.
It'll be
No, we shouldn't do that.
what would you, electromagnetic or what are you?
Yeah,
what are
electrosensory
thought
or
waves?
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
based. Yeah, that'd be pretty
something
crazy.
like that. However, Elon Musk does his
Neuralink.
Neuralink.
Yeah.
Whatever that technology, you'll pretty much have AI in your brain and access to information.
Nah,
Like instantly.
So don't they have that in Halo? AI and like a chip in their brain. Like wasn't
He's-
Cortana?
Yeah. Well, I don't know
He's
if it's in his
built to
brain, but it's
integrate with it.
Yeah.
I think is the idea. Is like he can put the AI can basically enter into his neural system through his suit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't Cortana get like a virus or something in like Halo 4?
Yeah, it's
He has to, like,
oh no, she goes. It's like rampant or something like that, where she starts to kind of go
metaphysical rampancy
Yeah.
or something.
yeah.
Because they reference that in Red versus Blue as well.
Oh,
Yeah, they do. They do that, and like one of the characters gets two
Blue
AIs. Yeah, one of the
That's
characters in season, I think it's season 9 or season 10, Agent Carolina gets two AIs, and she kind of goes a little bit crazy because she has too many voices.
This show
in her
goes
head.
a lot deeper than I thought. I thought it was just kind of dumb surface.
No.
humor, but-
You're not wrong. Seasons 1 through 5 is basically a dumb puppet show, and it is hilarious. But season 6 from that, they start to get serious, and
Okay.
8 through 10, you're like going into the lore, and you're just like, whoa,
All
they
right.
got good, man. Like I highly
I'll have to watch
recommend it.
this.
It's so good. And seeing as how each season's like an hour and a half to 2 hours, 2.5 hours long, like you can crank them out pretty quick. Because
Dang.
all the episodes, they started out to be like 5 minutes and they got to 13 minutes. So like it's not a long show.
A little short episodes.
Yeah, it's not like
That's
you're
nice.
binge watching 45-minute episodes back to back and spending like 15 hours of your life to it. Although, if you go past season 13, you probably will.
We'll have to have a movie night, Derek, and we'll. 'cause
Yeah, I got season 1 through 10 on
it
DVD,
more
so-
with you than just by myself. But
Man.
so I want to say for my technology, and I've been diving a little bit into this like research, kind of surface research, but I think it's going to be quantum technology.
Yeah.
Which like quantum entanglement style. Do you guys know what quantum entanglement is?
No, I'm kind of
I've
like
heard the word.
I'm kind
Okay.
of like Ant-Man, where it's like, do you guys just put quantum in front of everything just to sound smart?
Most of the time they do, yeah. But quantum entanglement basically is the idea that you have two particles, and quantum mechanics is basically the idea that a particle exists in a wave and or a material of matter will exist in a like an electron or a proton will exist in as a wave or a particle simultaneously until it is observed. And once it's observed, it will suddenly cease to act as both and act only as one. And so the idea is you can somehow connect two particles. I don't know the exact science behind it, but two electrons, and they're entangled, meaning you could put one at the other end of the solar system and one here, and you collapse the wave function of this particle, and the one at the other end of the solar system does the exact same thing instantaneously. And so they've already developed that into quantum computers, which is pretty insane. It's they were able to take those and integrate it into binary somehow, which basically makes computing almost instantaneous. Which, if you think about, like, because going from one end of the solar system to the other, I mean that takes
Hours.
Yeah, it's like, don't you dare just say hours.
I'm trying to think of the speed of light in relation to because speed of light, right? We're most of our technology is light based, digital based, right? So it's only equivalent to the speed of light. But with entanglement, you can do it instantaneously from across the universe. So I can totally see, technology is going to progress into that. I mean, it's already starting to. And eventually we're going to get more and more of that where it's almost instantaneous style technology.
Yeah, who says we haven't touched on that with what our army did to freaking Venezuela? That we took the dictator?
Yeah.
No doubt.
They did some
DARPA
crazy
is
stuff
like
just
10
by-
to 20 years ahead of of like our current technology. And it's like they had AI like 50 years ago, or it was probably like 40 years ago, but no, it was probably more like 50 years ago. Yeah, they pretty much had AI then. But I do also want to say it is a shame we have left the analog, because if you look at like old NASA pictures of the moon, you can actually take, if you had those original like what do you call them, film reels, you can take super high quality images off of those, just because of the way videotape or film and camera tape or camera film works. And that's one thing you just don't get with digital, because the more you use and transfer digital, the more it degrades. Well, as long as we have those film reels from like the moon landing and space stuff, we're always going to be able to get those. And it's pretty insane how well they're able to pull off high quality images now, just from those, almost 100-year-old reels, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see. I'm an advocate for going back to some old technology. I think we're diving a little too deep, and we'll get in more to that as we're getting to this. But
yeah, it reminds me of one of the quotes from the book: "A step back, can be a step in the right direction."
There we go. That is a good quote.
Yeah, that was a nice tangent, Jeff. Too bad I'm a plebeian and I didn't understand most of it. So,
dude, quantum science is like it hurts my brain. It's insane. It's like sci-fi. It's so crazy. But yeah, anyways, back to kind of the book. The book. I just don't feel like we're going to talk too much about the book. What the great thing about this book is it brings up other like real life subjects. Like it fits so well with today because of AI development.
Yeah. It'll book that'll stay consistent because of the message it's producing.
Yeah. And so you brought up technology, and I was like, I thought a lot of like, how would they automate like my job? So I'm like, my job's like pretty safe from like AI. Like, how hard would it be for them to build a machine to go and, pull some electrical wire and figure all that out? And I'm like, it talks about it in the book how like everything is prefabbed and then assembled by machines. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. If they just make everything, not custom, everything's prefabbed, you could build essentially like a Lego house where all the electrical wires integrated, and just like once you put it together, the electrical is in it.
Doing to an extent with 3D
printing housing, which I think they 3D print like all where the outlets are going to go, but they have like a raceway, like a conduit going to each one, which I'm like, that would actually be kind of nice to get a house done where I'm just fish taping all the wire through.
Yeah, no kidding. And this like, it brings up the subject of like, is automation, could it be awesome? Because like I don't know if the way he predicts that society kind of acts would be the way that things would go.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Like for me, if machines took over my job and I was given like a monthly allowance from the government,
which they say it's a comfortable living. Like they all have appliances, which back then in the 50s, having a refrigerator was a big thing. Having a washing machine was a big thing.
Yeah. Well, part of it's like flat screen TVs. When they first came out, because they were so hard to make, they were so expensive. Now, like,
we all got one. We're sick of seeing them on Black Friday.
Yeah,
they're cheaper than CRT TVs right now.
It's crazy. You know that right now.
So they're so extremely easy to make because it's probably all automated. They are super cheap, and so you get amenities and what do you call it? What's the word?
Necessities and
necessities and things that you don't necessarily need but you want. So you get
Luxuries.
a lot. Yeah, luxuries. Thank you.
Yeah, luxuries.
Yeah, you get a lot of that in life.
Ease.
But for me, like, there's more motivation. Like, I do my job. It's not because I have a passion for electrical. You know, I do my job because it's a means to an end, a way for me to provide for my family.
Yeah, we work to live, not live to work, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so, like, my dream would be to work from home and be a writer, to do this podcast, to do my social media stuff. And so, like, having my job automated and I get that allowance, that would open up my avenues of being able to pursue my dreams.
Touches on that too with that one woman who ends up in the car with the Shah, and she's like prostituting herself to be able to get an income because now her husband has been like blacklisted because he was a writer.
Yeah.
But because he didn't fulfill his role properly as a writer, then he didn't write the books he was supposed to. And that's kind of where Kurt really gets it right. Like, sure, like there's these comforts that could exist with automation, but then how far are we taking it, right? Like how far are we willing to even automate it, or willing to let automation control things to the point where now it's controlling us and the choices we make, and the ability to even choose for ourselves. Because, like, yeah, you could live or make a comfortable living, but like in I guess in Kurt's world, like you probably wouldn't even be allowed to write a book. You wouldn't even be allowed to publish anything or produce anything of your own because it's so regulated and so controlled by even like to the point where they talk about the machine. I can't remember the name of the machine. It's like when they visit,
Checker Charlie.
when they visit not Checker Charlie. It's the big machine that
was my
makes all
first
the
thought.
decisions.
I was like, there's no way it's Checker Charlie.
It's like the one that makes all the decisions for like society.
Based on their IQ and
it's
stuff.
like not Anthem. Oh, what's it called?
I don't
it's
remember.
The big
I'm
machine.
so sorry.
When the Shah visits the president, they talk about the machine. It's on the 7th iteration of it. But yeah, like I
Before
do
you
get
go on, Jeff, did you know that Kurt Vonnegut often writes himself into his stories?
No.
And that author that he wrote in the book is based off of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I did not know that. That's pretty
I
funny.
wonder if his wife ended up had to prostitute herself.
That's not
That's sad.
That is actually kind of sad.
Yeah.
But, you know, not to go off topic too far, but
I didn't know
it
that.
does seem like he doesn't value, like, loyalty within a marriage. Like, he writes adultery a lot in this book, and it's like not even a big deal.
But he writes a lot about breasts. He's big on those.
Yeah, the adultery. The adultery was like.
Yeah.
But yeah, the adultery kind of like, I don't know. I thought there was too much of it. And
it was very casual.
It was very casual. And part of it, I was like, it made me think Paul was such an idiot, dude. I'm like, you got Shepard, who's always coming over, talking to his wife when he's gone. And his wife just mentioning, yeah, Shepard came over. And my first thought was, Paul, my guy, you need to investigate that. You need to spend more time with your wife if you really love her. And
well, this was an interesting thing. I don't think they really didn't truly love each other.
No, I don't think they did either. Because
one thing that's interesting,
Paul seems like so innocuous towards her.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked up on this, but every time they're like,
his fantasy for her was nothing of actually who she was. Yeah.
Whenever they said "I love you" to each other, it was like, "I love you, Anita," and then she'd repeat back, "I love you, Paul."
Oh,
and then
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
When he ended up sleeping with that big-breasted woman, he said a line something like,
Stop and think. I got caught up on the words big-breasted and missed where we were referencing. Sorry.
Guys, I don't need my wife to think all we do on this podcast is talk about boobs. She watches these.
Let's move on. No.
Yeah.
All right.
We can't dwell on this.
Yeah.
So
Paul, this is after he gets fired, right?
yeah, so
Laid off.
Yeah.
now
And
the
after,
lady's like says out the window, "Hey, you want to come up and have sex with me, Fred?"
Yeah.
So yeah, so you see that Paul and Anita are like, it's just an automatic response. And then he says, after he sleeps with that woman, it says like, and then he said an automatic response, "I love you, Anita," like kind of accidentally.
Yeah.
And so it just plays into the automation.
Spot on. Yeah, that is great. That I didn't catch that, but that totally makes sense. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, he totally did.
I can't take credit for that because I didn't pick it up. I picked it up from some other reviews on YouTube.
Okay.
So I'll give them credit. I can't remember who you are, but whatever.
Call yourself out. Make yourself known. No, I think it goes to show kind of the complacency that exists with automation, and I would say how you get to, because they make it seem like it happened very fast, from like the war to how they were now. Like they even talk about how there were people who literally had been in the factories, and not enough time had passed that there wasn't a generation that hadn't worked in the factories. But I think about now, we really have gotten a slow burn of automation in our society, and that is really how you introduce something into a society, good or bad. Because doing something fast, they're going to reject it, and you see in the book that they do reject it as like a mass. And I can see back then in the 50s, there was more pride taken in your work, in what you produced while you worked, and there were certain positions seen as lesser, like the reeks and wrecks in the military, was like those are not as fulfilling as like producing something in a factory. I mean, people were literally making vehicles, making cars, making structures, and so there would be an obvious revolt. But nowadays it is, I mean, I could totally see our society falling right into like, oh yeah, I get an income, and for the most part that is pretty en masse what is pretty much the case with the lower class, like the low class who's living off of welfare. They generally are pretty much making an income without producing anything, and many of them have no issue with it. It is kind of a lifestyle that they really are fine living, which isn't necessarily saying anything bad about them. It's just kind of pointing out that I think it's how our society has progressed into it slowly that has produced that mindset.
Yeah. Do you think AI has been a slow burn?
Oh no.
Yeah, I feel like it's moved in way too quickly,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Compared to and I think that is part of the exponential growth of technology. It's almost unavoidable with these things. But
it's almost scary to me how fast AI is just developing. What was it? 3 years ago, you watch Will Smith eat spaghetti. It was just so ridiculously bad.
To think about.
And now it's you can't tell the difference between real and AI at sometimes.
Well, I guess that whole Jim Carrey thing that was going all over the internet that was just annoying my reels. It was all like AI crap or something.
Huh.
It was like or something about the person who was supposed to be impersonating Jim Carrey was an AI generated person themselves or something. It's like an Inception style hole that you. I didn't want to dive down it, but my Instagram reels forced me to, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna flat out say AI is evil, but I'm kind of on the side that it's gonna be the destruction of mankind, just because of all the virtual girlfriends that are made, and how there are men out there who would rather spend time with their computer girlfriend and not go out, and that's how we're all gonna be neutered.
That was Finnerty's wonderful insult towards Anita.
Yes.
He's like, I could make a machine that would do better as a wife for Paul than you. And she just took so much offense.
Ed Finnerty was an interesting character for me because he's the one that kind of introduces, like, he's the catalyst of opposition where, you know, he had fantastic money. He was a prominent engineer himself. So he was in the upper echelon of the elites. And, you know, he gives it up because he was lonely. He was unfulfilled. Like, he even talks about how he thought about committing suicide with Paul's gun and then just threw it in the river. He just casually brings up, which is Kurt's
the dark humor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's like the first one to just embrace the idea of a revolution to, you know, change all this automation. And I think he's the one that put centerfold for me the theme of ease and comfort through automation versus hard work and fulfillment, which is, I feel like, the big crux, the big meat that this book is trying to explore. So, like, that's what makes this book, I would say, a readable book, is that it's enjoyable to see this discussion, to hear these ideas presented in different ways, and to have it be explored. And I felt like it veered ultimately to the side of we need to maintain that hard work and diligence and know that life is worth toil and struggle because it brings fulfillment rather than just pursuing comfort and leisure time. Because even with like the Shah learning about like all the dishwasher and everything, and he just asks, why? Like, what is she trying to do so quickly?
What does the woman do?
Yeah, what does she do now
that she doesn't fold the laundry?
Yeah, now that she doesn't fold the laundry, now like that could be seen as sexist nowadays. But this was written in what you said, the 50s. Yeah. And he's just saying like, why is she trying to be so fast? What's she gonna do with all that free time? And they're like at a loss to explain. Now she can do whatever
she
she
can watch her
wants.
programs.
Yeah.
About watching TV.
One of my all-time favorite Futurama jokes is when Fry thinks he's a robot, and Leela's like, I'm gonna remind him of his humanity only the way a woman can, and the professor's like, you're going to fold his laundry? And Amy slaps him. It's like I've noticed more now than ever how many sexist jokes come around the professor. It's so funny. Gonna fold his laundry. But yes,
That's funny.
I going on top of that, the character Bud, he was a really enthusiastic character. I wish we had more of, because Paul talks about how he gave him the task of inventing a way for a cat to be able to detect rodents using like an attached apparatus. And he literally like designed it in his free time. And then the very next time you meet Bud, he's out of his job because a machine he designed took his job. But then it's interesting because despite that, and he even becomes a part of the revolution, at the end of the book, he is then repairing machines that people use for automation, like that they talk about the drink machine that everyone is going to. And the idea that, like, you know, even though they've rebelled and they talk about like literally going to like almost no machines, like back to farm work and hard labor, they talk about how the automation is almost inevitable. Like it's literally going to happen just because that's what humans do.
That was one of the more funnier things in the book for me, was the drink machines, how one of them has the orange soda that nobody likes except like the CEO of the company or something like that. So.
But they're going to drink it because that's what they got.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it is a fascinating dialogue, and I do think it has merit in how it views things. Obviously, it has its shortfallings where I think he doesn't get everything right, but in terms of like things like that, yeah, I can totally see, you know, there's just been a revolution and all we have is, you know, Diet Dr. Pepper. You know, people are going to line up to drink Diet Dr. Pepper. As long as it's dispensed.
Yeah. I mean, talk about like some of the things I struggled with. What did you guys think of the Shah and kind of his involvement in the book?
I can see the reason why he was there. He was a great conduit to explain more of the world building and how this country was functioning
from a perspective of a society that had completely devoid of automation.
Yeah, and he's like, like we brought up, what does the woman do? Like, why is he's kind of also that voice of reason that Kurt wants you to hear, or he wants you to ask those questions with all this stuff. Well, he doesn't want you to be sexist. Or who knows? Maybe Kurt does, but he wants you to ask, like, what are we trying to do with all this free time we're trying to amass?
Taken within the context of the book, for sure.
What are we trying to do with all this free time we're trying to amass? Like, is it really worth it if all we do is just sit around and be comfortable?
Yeah.
Like, so I get the reason, the Shah, but those chapters where it was the Shah is the most I tuned out my first listen with the audiobook.
A lot of the humor was in the Shah part.
Yeah.
For me.
With all his translations and calling everyone slaves.
Yeah. No Tukaru.
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 Yeah, that was funny. And I do the barbershop scene, which I do feel like he missed out on a really funny, to make it even funnier. I do feel like that was pretty funny, where the barber just goes on this tangent. He's just talking to the Shah, like,
Oh yeah,
back in the war, like.
Yeah, that is one thing I absolutely loved about the book was the just variety of characters. I will say Kurt Vonnegut does a fantastic job at just popping in these random characters who seem so vastly different. Like I want to touch on the character descriptions real quick. Let me find a quote, but like with the barber, I think I have found those. All right, so this is so when Paul's at the retreat, the meadows,
which was also pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I think that was Kurt Vonnegut's way of saying how much he hates those kind of things.
Have either of you worked for like a big corporate company? Like, electrician isn't quite like office. You
but
never, like,
my dad is a mechanical engineer, and his company would have work parties, not a week retreat like that, where it was that extensive, but I remember those work parties being awesome because they gave out prizes all the time. They had booths with prizes for all the kids, and I could play them as many times as I want. I came back with so much cool new junk to play with, and they had like dozens of inflatables, like obstacle courses, slides, just on a ranch somewhere. It was so much fun. I remember always looking forward to it every year until they stopped. So like, heck, I don't even know if my dad talked to any of his coworkers there for all I know, but I was too distracted with all the cool stuff to do.
I've lived in both worlds where I've had the corporate experience and like the small business experience, but it is, and Kurt I think said this in like some kind of discussion at one point at the end of the book. There's like a little dialogue about him, but somebody gives us a bunch of stories about Kurt Vonnegut, but he talks about how the ceremonies were almost cultish in a way, and you can see that a lot in how he presents the ones in this book.
You know where he worked before he became an author?
Didn't.
He worked for GE.
No way. Oh my gosh, that kind of makes sense.
He was the public relations manager.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
There you go.
Okay, I can see. I can see his viewpoint
I thought
there.
that was interesting for sure.
So, and I'm leading up to these character descriptions of how much I just absolutely love the way he wrote these out. But the master of ceremonies at the work conference, he says, a fat, red old man with breasts like a woman sticking through his wet T-shirt thrust a songbook into his hands. I could picture that. That is a well-written description. And then you got the Shah of Bradipur, whatever that is, spiritual leader of 6 million members of the Kohiri sect, wizened and wise, dark as cocoa, encrusted with gold brocade and constellations of twinkling gems, sank deep into his royal blue cushions of the limousine like a priceless brooch in its gift box. I mean, can't you just picture? Those are just fantastic. I would love to write character descriptions like that.
I do have to agree that Kurt did a great job with his descriptions and his metaphors, to where I was like, oh, because like when he describes Kroner, he took very good care of his engineers. Like he took a breeder's interest into their lineage, which did a great job of just like showing how invested he was, but also kind of how creepy Kroner was as a boss. Wow. And the fact that he has them all call him dad and his wife mom, that made me feel so uncomfortable, dude. Kroner creeped me out. And I just hated Bear, just always tagging along. He's like an introvert's worst nightmare.
There is always someone in a company like Bear, and like Shepard.
Yeah.
And I just want to say how much every single company I've worked with, I have known somebody who's like Shepard, and it's just like I absolutely hate them, and it's just like this is that person. You're just like
tell our viewers and listeners more about Shepard. We haven't really described him or talked about him. I mentioned how like he's just hanging around Paul's wife, and I'm like, dude, the signs are obvious.
Yeah.
So Shepard's a snake. We know that.
Oh, total
like
snake.
Even from the beginning, he's kind of trying to get.
Kurt
Paul's
Vonnegut
jobs.
worked with someone like this. He had to have written somebody like this in the book because, Shepard. So he's basically the tier below Paul, who
but he was also like one of the the prominent engineers, because it wasn't Infinity, Paul, and Shepard, who were like rising up together. So the fact that
Paul
he's
beat
under
out
Paul,
Infinity kind of beat them all out because he went to Washington. Paul, he's running Ilium, and Shepard's kind of right below him, and you just see like everything Shepard does is to irk Paul. You know, like when he's out exercising while Paul is taking Anita to the farm, and Anita's like, hey, Shepard's exercising, and Anita goes on about how she helped Shepard pack his socks.
Which,
and I just think, like, who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Just going to another person's
with my wife
just to pack some socks. Oh my gosh.
Man.
If Paul were a real person, I wanted to grab him by the lapels and just be like, are you blind?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think he was blind. I think he just didn't care.
You're probably, now that you brought up the whole, like, just the automated, I love you, Anita.
Yeah, and like,
Paul.
Like how he confessed that he slept with that girl at the bar. He's just like, I blacked out, and then I slept with her. And then Anita's just not even upset about that. She's more upset. Did anybody see you with her?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, like I think Paul at that point was just kind of like, have you guys seen Office Space?
Yes.
Office Space.
The main character now, when he reaches the breaking point and he just shows up and work in like shorts and sandals.
That movie is like the corporate right there.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't tell you how many times I've been like wanting to do that. Everything.
It's such a good movie, but it reminded me of Paul in a lot of ways, the main character, because.
And he gets a big promotion, right, in Office Space.
The main character, they're being audited from inside the company. They send these two guys to kind of interview everybody and downsize.
Oh my gosh!
And so the main character at this point is just giving up. He shows up to work whenever he wants, doesn't do anything, and he goes in the meeting with those two guys, and they're like, so tell us about yourself. And he's like, I don't really care to be here. Pretty much walks out on them or something. And they're like impressed by him.
His apathy basically ends up promoting him into
they give
high-paid position.
They give him a promotion because they were so impressed by him.
Like, wow, he just doesn't care. We love his moxie.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of related to Paul.
That is a great
they like, later on in the book when they're like oh, we're going to fire you so you can infiltrate the ghost shirts. And he's like, you know what? I quit. They're
like,
oh,
that's
great.
perfect. Yeah.
Take the
We need that.
Which I thought was pretty hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
See, I wasn't thinking of that. My problem was, since we read Red Rising before this, and I started reading Golden Sun and Morning Star after this. As soon as I heard we want
his reading experience.
we want you to infiltrate the Ghost Shirt Society. I'm like, I've read this. It's better. Darrow is the one going to do it. Like, I've read a better version of this. I want to go to that. So it did kind of hamper my experience of this book. So blame Pierce Brown.
But it's funny because Paul goes to the ghost shirts and he doesn't do anything.
No, he doesn't.
They automate his part in the revolution.
So it's funny. He's just kind of like bouncing around.
Yeah, and he's just there.
Yeah.
He's like the main guy that they're using, but he just doesn't do anything for either group. But they both use him as the means to an end to fulfill their purpose and everything, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And really, that is there are so many small inserts of the theme of automation in the book, and I honestly didn't notice most of these that you're bringing up, like the inserting into the ghost shirts and how even Paul's process in that was automated, and it's just that it is a part of human nature to essentially make things easier and produce more in the same process, or produce what we need, and that's kind of the nature we fall into no matter what. And even then, when Paul is trying to get away from it, he still kind of finds himself being put right back into it.
Yeah, it's inescapable. And that's kind of how the book ends. On somewhat of a bleak note, the rebellion just fails completely.
Yeah, it sparks and then just fizzles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant at the beginning, where it does get action packed, but it's like a musket. It happens. There's we're doing this, and then just they're done.
Yeah.
And they're like you said, they're in front of a drink machine now trying to get the orange drink that no one wants.
Yeah. But for me, I feel like the most important part was the courtroom scene with Paul, and I feel like that's where he showed, actual, motivation to actually do something. And so, yeah, it's just interesting because he's in the courtroom scene telling what he thinks, saying, the people should be the ones that decide what happens with these machines. The machines have ruined our opportunity for the pursuit of happiness. The whole purpose.
He's hooked up to the lie detector, right? And that becomes part of the issue within the courtroom scene.
We have to do the test for it, but and then the ghost shirts just come and break them out. In the middle of the whole process.
Yeah, and it's interesting with the fact that he says, or the things he's saying are true or coming out as truth within the lie detector, right?
But it also is funny because it detects half truths, which is funny.
When he's uncertain of something, yeah. And that really is, I think, the great message coming from this is we should be able to make our decisions in regards to our destiny, right? Where, you can choose to sit on your butt and kind of live off of, I guess, the labors of others, and that's your choice. And obviously that'll get you somewhere. But when you choose to produce and create and actually benefit, there are, ways of kind of, what do you call it? Just the karma. Right, to kind of come back, but again, the more choices we can make, and the more things we produce that help us to make even more choices, and that's a huge part of agency, right? The more choices we have, the more we have agency, and the more we can choose our destinies. The more, and the warning is, the more choices we give to machines, which is the whole, like, there's the big machine that is essentially making all the choices for society, saying, okay, we need to produce this many crops and this much of this machine and this part for society. The more choices we give to machines, the fewer choices we can make for ourselves, and the more confined and controlled then we become. And so in the end, really, I think the great message from the book is we should be able to have choices, even if that is to be able to automate certain things, which in a way kind of can lead to a downfall, but it's like with caution.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, which I think Kurt Vonnegut does a good job at kind of leaving it open-ended where, you know, you can kind of decide what you want with the message of it.
Yeah.
Whether automation bad or automation good, you know, there's not really a right or wrong answer with this, because we can all agree some automation in our lives has been amazing. It's allowed us to have more time with our family, have luxuries in our life, but, you know, just like with everything, finding that balance in life, you need to find that balance.
Oh, yeah. One thing I wanted to touch on with you guys is some comparisons. Did you have anything else you were going to say about?
No.
Okay. No, but I totally agree with that, Greg. I like your idea on that. One thing I want to touch on is some of the comparisons to like other media and where you kind of find similar messages. And again, I'll touch on Futurama. One, because I've been currently rewatching it for the umpth time, but
Hey, that's not a waste of time.
it is a fantastic show. The newer seasons, newer episodes, not so much. There's some cleverness in there, but not quite like they had in the old ones. But I just want to say, Futurama gets so many things right in terms of what it's predicting for the future. I totally see.
Well, it's the creators of The Simpsons, which we all know the predictions Simpsons have done.
True that, yeah. And we are pretty much already to the point where I think our robots will be like the Bender robots, where they have duties, they have programs, but we're not going to create these thoughtless machines. I mean, we already have personality machines, but we're going to have, you know, I'm going to make my own theme park with blackjack and hookers. Forget
alcoholics.
Forget theme park. It's like, yeah, you know, we will build machines after our image. Yeah. And it's already kind of happening.
And even our flaws and vices will show,
I don't know if you guys have seen some of the AI they've produced, but they are like specifically meant to be human-like, where people get attached to it. Yeah. And like, they'll go to this AI engine and they'll talk to it, and it talks to them like a human, and it will console them, and people are like losing their minds talking to this AI, thinking they're like falling in love with it.
Yeah, that's what makes it so scary. That's why I think it's the downfall of man. Ooh.
Oh yeah. So there's following on top of that, Derek, episode of Futurama where Fry wants a girlfriend, and they're like, why don't you just, or he's like, oh man, I wish I could, you know, just pick a celebrity from my time, and they're like, why don't you just do that? You can. And they hop on the internet, go to what is it, the Napster or something, the Napster of like of celebrities, and it's basically there's just such a fantastic show that the amount of like avenues they go for jokes is just so good. But he goes to build a robot of Lucy Liu, ends up falling in love with this robot. And I just love how the professor always has on hand like these little documentaries about things, and it's like why you shouldn't date robots.
Why
it's like it's exactly what you're saying about how the taboo of dating robots basically came on because people were dating robots and not actually dating each other and not producing babies, and then humanity essentially collapsed. And it's interesting how much of modern science is kind of toying with the idea of artificial wombs and artificial gestation with eggs and basically turning those into babies in an artificial womb and growing babies in a artificial egg, basically, which again, I don't know if that even ever could happen, let alone, who knows where the ethics, where that will end up in the next 20 to 15 years, considering how we are as a society and everything right now. But it is a point where we have to be, like, say, almost no entirely to certain things just to even avoid going in that direction. And that is the big danger with AI, right? Like, as much as we even use it, how much of a convenience it is, at what point do we say absolutely no, stop here, because going too far in that direction with AI is going to basically destroy us? Like, where do we put that block? That's kind of the hard thing to decide.
It's scary because I feel like it's snowball that has gotten out of control, and there's no stopping it.
I agree.
It's just an apocalypse.
Keep snowballing and snowballing, and it's at the point where we can't stop it anymore. The only hope I had was in Elon Musk stopping it, but he's joined the team.
Oh yeah, he's too deep, man. Yeah. Like, I think this book kind of brings to light the argument of technology and advancement doesn't ultimately bring happiness, because America right now is kind of one of the leading, like, not factors, but like they have like the highest rising of mental illness and depression and everything. Whereas a lot of my friends who have gone like to Thailand or, on those Peace Corps trips to help out humanitarian efforts, and they talk to these people and they like hear, wait, what's suicide? And, or I'm sorry, I'm probably not allowed to say that. What's deleting yourself? And there's like, wait, there's a condition where you're so sad that you just quit at life. Like, that never happened. Like, what? And they're living in shanties and shacks and living off of farmland, and they're happier. So it's like having all the comforts in the world doesn't bring happiness. And it's just really interesting because he touches on that in this book so much. And I think it's something, like we said at the beginning, I think the current generation needs to read this book, but they're not going to. Yeah. Because like the audiobook is probably their only chance, because not very many people like to sit down and read. It's not like we have the time to read, because, we're trying to free up that time for leisure time. But here's another argument I'd like to make too, Kurt. When you have more getting done with automation, you still don't get free time because people expect you to do more, since, like, okay, because now that we have instant messaging and emails and all the time, people are expecting answers to your office questions or to our, like, project manager and stuff. They expect answers from us just instantaneously. And it's like, great, I got this new machine. Like, with the excavator, we can now dig so much more. So we should be able to, like, get more work done faster. Now you can work faster and get more done. Faster and get more done, which you initially probably thought, cool, now we can do a day's work in 4 hours instead of 8. No, you're still going to work 8. You're just going to get more done in that 8 now. So, like, all this automation, I don't think will give everyone free time. It's just going to expect more out of everyone, which is kind of bleak in my outlook of it, which makes me kind of sad, where it's like, let's innovate, but can we innovate to where we're not expected to just have way more responsibility and stuff? I don't know. Maybe that's the laziness in me talking, and I want to be sitting with.
Do you guys know what is considered the happiest profession, with the people who reportedly are the most happy?
Oh, no. Tell me.
It is farmers, which is kind of crazy that, Paul, that's kind of what he ends up wanting to do, right? He wants to go to a farm.
And he buys that farm.
He buys a rundown farm where he literally will have to be the one to engage in the labor. And, I mean, it makes sense because they are producing something almost constantly. And my wife will always talk to me because sometimes I'll be like, should we just go live on a farm somewhere? And she'll be like,
oh, your wife too?
And she'll be like, but what about all the trials and the hard times and the droughts and the lack of water? And
that's scary.
That is scary. but then they are still the happiest people in their professions. So it is saying something when you are able to actually engage in producing and building something, and building something up and producing something even for society and your community. So, but on top of that, you know, like the most unhappy professions are the office workers, right?
Yeah.
The people stuck in the cubicle and secluded from basically sunlight and everything else in society. So it is quite a contrast between those two careers, and it goes to show really the importance of having something in your life to produce, whether that be writing, right? Because you were talking about how if you did leave electrician and were able to write, you'd still be producing something. And hopefully, you know, we don't get to the point in Kurt Vonnegut's society where writing is so regulated, even though, you know, to a point, you know.
Oh, yeah. We're
sometimes
kind of
you
headed
find
that direction,
right?
with all
Can't
the
say
banned books that we have.
the S word or the R words online.
Wait, what's the S word?
Unalive.
Deleting yourself.
Oh, what I said. I'm so sorry. Okay.
I was trying to avoid
I was like,
saying
is this
it, but-
stupid? We can say stupid. Yeah, I guess we'll have to edit out mine.
But yeah, when you can produce something, and that is really the importance of being able to produce and not be in a stagnant mindset, because when you get into that stagnation of just being a part of the automation, that is where a lot of depression can set in, and a lot of I don't want to say mental illness, but just mental ailments. And I've noticed that in myself too. The times because I have a very contrasting job where I am either out there in the mountains hiking through the wilderness for days on end, for months, or I'm stuck in an office typing at a computer. And my mental health between those changes drastically. When I'm in the wilderness having almost no cell phone service, I become a completely different person. My wife notices it too. She's like, you're happier, you're more energetic, you look healthier, you're more like motivated to do things. And then when I'm in the office, I'm like miserable, I become grumpy. And so it does make a huge difference. And that's one reason why I've been trying to I've been one of those people that talks about my lifestyle to everyone, trying to decentralize. I literally have been putting a notebook in almost everything. Like I have a notebook in my wallet, I have a notebook I carry around in my pocket, trying to just get away from my phone. And even then, writing something out, I've seen the difference. Writing something out versus typing it or even dictating it on the phone is a huge difference. Like it is mentally a huge difference. I retain it so much better when I write it out.
Yeah.
And so again, it's even producing something so small. We kind of go back to Alvin, right? In the Tales of Alvin Maker, how to stave off the unmaker, he needs to make something, even if it's like a little
Grass
bug
basket.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my way of like, yeah, I'm making. I do a little doodle, making my little grass basket. I'm staving off the unmaker in my
There you
life. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we got to wrap this up a bit. We've been going for a while.
Cool.
One last thing I'll just quickly touch on, which in the book, everybody's given like a government stipend, essentially like a universal basic income, which is a pretty...
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah, UBI. So, which is from the last, last presidential race with Andrew Yang, that became more of a hot topic. I did a little deep dive into kind of learning more about it. You know, like on paper, I guess I should preface it with like, you know, we're LDS. We believe in welfare. Our church, I think it was like $2.5 billion worth of welfare.
We believe in welfare to get you back on your feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we believe in helping, your fellow man, and not to support it's support life, but not lifestyle.
Yeah.
So if you want a lifestyle, you have to go and pursue it, but we want to help our fellow man stay on their feet and be able to get to a position where they can pursue the lifestyle they want.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just what I'm saying is like it's not like we're against welfare or anything like that. So like UBI on paper, and this is the thing, it's even with economists, like it's just not known enough what would happen with UBI, whether from the little experiments they've done, it's gone well. People have shown more initiative than they initially thought. That, they were thinking that people would just use that money and squander it on like drugs or alcohol or tobacco, but it actually shown that people used it for essentials, and then it allowed them to pursue other avenues. But these were very small experiments.
It's going to be definitely different on a large scale.
So it's a tough thing. It's something I'm learning more about it. It's put me a little bit more on the fence with it, but there's always part of me that just does not trust the government to do anything correctly. And so that would be my only holdup, because it's really like whenever someone gives you, let's say, when somebody gives you money, they a lot of times have power over you.
There's an expectation, even unsaid. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, you see that with government all the time. Anytime there's a handout, there's always something tied to it in a way. So, that was just something interesting that, we don't have to go too much.
I really haven't dived into it too much myself, but I've usually been on the fence of, pull yourself up by your britches, get off your butt.
I'm a big believer of you are the master of your own destiny, but it's not bad to seek help when you need it. And, the church, like, I don't know all the facts and figures. I don't want to speak as a representative for them, but they are glad to help us. That's a big reason why we give our tithing, and no one's judging you for it and everything. Because I know if I were in that state, like, first off, the reason I work so hard is because I never want to be there. It terrifies me, but that's because that's a personal pride issue, and pride is a sin. If you're ever in that situation, you are not a bad person. It is not a sin to mess up in life to where you get to that point where you need help. But the reason that I think it's so nice to know that is an option, it does make the future a lot less bleak. Yeah. To know that, totally. As a last resort, I can seek for help for a short time to get back up on my feet.
Well, just a point on universal basic income. Isn't necessarily, I guess, it would take over for welfare, but it is more so like a necessity for people losing their jobs and their professions. So it's almost like you have to have it. Just like in the book, like all
since
the automation has taken these jobs, replaced, they had to incorporate this universal basic income. So even still, like it's something that there's just who knows what would happen with it.
It is hard when it comes to figuring out how you would regulate it, and how even then what controls could be put into place to prevent it from going out of control. And I totally agree with you, Derek. Like I've been in that situation where I lost my job, and I was like, oh man, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to keep my home? And the church was there as like a backup for me, but luckily I had enough family and people around me to help out.
Which is what the church recommends you turn to first.
Exactly.
Because if you are going to be indebted to someone, I'd rather be indebted to my family, because the family is the most important.
That's really why I think UBI works on smaller scales, and that's even shown with holding everything common, not so much communist, but like everyone's sharing things in it's like the socialist paradise mindset without the mindless, acceptance of the government's laws and regulations that communism kind of requires. It's more like, you can pick fruit off my tree, I can get eggs from your chickens kind of thing. That works in a small community because everyone can be close-knit like that. You can trust each other. But then, of course, introducing any kind of foreign aspect into it, that can cause disruption. And so, not saying,
or it's more so
foreign
like
things can't integrate well.
It's I'm going to take your eggs and I'll give you some fruit, even though you don't need that fruit. That's kind of where, communism loses that Zionistic.
Or I need eggs, but I don't produce any fruit, so I'm just going to take your eggs.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a balance to it. I think one reason I have become very focused on trying to decentralize is trying to go back to that community aspect, to kind of interact with people more. We were just talking about how we were struggling to plan this a little bit because of the text aspect and me trying to communicate how I was planning the outline. It wasn't coming across very well because it was in text form. But then, of course, when I get an actual person-to-person talking, it comes out so much clearer. Well, at least partially clearer, because I tend to ramble on about all kinds of things. But I think there is an importance to community, and I guess we can dive into the rating of this book now that we've I feel like we've touched on everything.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
well.
I feel like the overall theme. I've hit it all my points.
Oh yeah. I want to say this book has kind of opened up for me, talking with you guys. My initial and again that is the importance of this book, to generate discussion on this topic, to get everyone thinking about it, what we're doing, where we're going.
Yeah.
I originally was going to give this a 6, but honestly, I think I'm going to bump it up to a 7 because of how important I see it is. I don't think I'm ever really going to go back to it. I've read it's kind of like George Orwell, 1984. I don't really have a desire to go back to 1984.
Oh, I go back to
it's
that.
Intense.
That's a horror story to me. So I go back to it like every Halloween.
Yeah, it's beyond spooky.
For me, it's a great one. I would read it again, but not one I'm usually thinking about going back to. But definitely a 7. It's well written. The character descriptions to me are absolutely fantastic. I think I'm going to at least go back to the book for references on how to write my character descriptions, because I think they were fantastic. But it does leave a lot desiring. And I think being Kurt Vonnegut's first book, it kind of shows off some of those weaknesses of a first book. But
there are worse first books out there. Like, I think he did a pretty good job jumping into the fray, throwing his hat in the ring.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I can go on and on about the character descriptions, but solid 7 for me. Definitely upgraded because of the conversation.
That's really funny because I was like in the same position. I was like, I'm going to give this a solid 6. But after talking about it with you guys, especially with Greg showing like the subtleness of the automation just taking over, I didn't see that. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, Kurt Vonnegut's actually kind of low-key genius for doing it that way. And
there's a reason he's one of them names and has those...
One of them names.
All them books.
So I was like, so after
classic.
talking about with you guys and having these new insights and just being like, wow, I did not notice that. And yes, the descriptions are very great. He does do a pretty good job there. And knowing that there is satirical humor in there now, and I can see him now, I bumped it up to a 7 as well. So that's fine. Sweet. We're too like-minded. Hot take was terrible. Rating's terrible. Greg, be the outlier.
Yeah, well... I'm going to stick with my original rating, since I brought all the insights that improved it for you guys. No, but
Good job.
I do think it is well written. I think the struggle through this was solely just not kind of my book, not my genre. One that I struggle with a little bit. So that considered, I'm going to go 7.676.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what that means. I'm too old for that, but whatever.
No one knows what it means.
This
is
generation's 21, 69, yeah, all of them.
69's got a meaning.
69's universal.
And the 21 actually has some context to it. 21?
41 years. Was that your guys' audiobook? The train conductor guy that's like, I was a train conductor for 41.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all should have had the same audiobook. But.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I think it's more so just a conduit for a great discussion.
Oh, yeah.
But well written, like I said, so that's where I'm at. 7.6.
Totally. Solid.
All right.
Or 6.7.
Not bad. Yeah.
That's my biggest dyslexia is 6 and 7 to 7.
You know what we should do? We should do a brain rot Magic the Gathering battle where we just try to get all the 6-7 creatures out that we can. Or all the counters.
All the
I'm gonna put 6 counters
creatures,
on this one. Now, so now it's
numbers.
so it's a 6-7.
Oh,
7-7? No, 6-7. Actually, I think the Command Zone might have done a short on that. It's pretty intense.
Sweet.
That'd be great.
So yeah, that was player piano. Who's got our next pick? Is that Derek?
That is me. Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, just trying to figure out where to go here. Like I said, I've also been reading Golden Sun and Morning Star, and that's a big reason why I rated this book solo, because it was just, I saw it more as a distraction from getting to what I wanted to get to at first. But I did see us get a recommendation in one of our videos. So I would like to show that we do read our comments and we listen to our viewers, and it was a pretty solid recommendation. The Princess Bride. I would love to read that, and we can go into some nice, comfortable, whimsical fantasy.
We need a cleanser.
Yes, I want a cleanser, and I want something that's going to just highlight the virtues of man, and just have the simple good and evil kind of deal.
Fantastic.
Well, that's awesome pick. I will say, I don't think we should require it, but I do think we should consider it to also read As You Wish.
Yeah.
Inconceivable Tales from the Making of Princess Bride. By the main actor, Carrie Elwes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that how
are you going to say it? I want to know now.
Elwes.
Yeah, it's Elwes.
Wesley.
I cut you out. I was like, oh, he's got something good. He's going to mess it up. I better say something.
So I haven't read that, but my mom has recommended that.
I've heard it's really good. Yeah.
So,
not just the fact that we have the same mom, but I have heard it from other people.
but of course, we're going to be watching the movie as well.
Absolutely.
Reading the book.
Absolutely.
If we want to add that to it, I don't think it's too long, so that could be a good little addition to it.
We probably should also watch some Psych, since Carrie Elwes
does
in Psych as well.
Well, if that's the case, then we should
Seinfeld.
watch. Well, we should watch Saw because he's in Saw.
No way. I did not know that.
I guess we're all just watching Carrie Elwes media now.
Sorry, Derek. Don't mean to hijack your thing, but we'll actually be reading now.
Spoiler alert. He cuts his foot off.
I'm excited. Princess Bride. Let's do it.
That's going to be fun. Good pick, Derek.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know if you guys have read it yet, so we'll see. But thank you for the recommendation.
I sure have.
A commenter.
I've seen the movies. Yep. Thanks for the recommendation. Give us more. Tell us what you want us to read.
Yep, please do.
you
And
know.
I know that this sounds rote having to tell it, but statistically, you won't hit that like button or subscribe unless we say so, and we could use your support. So please give us a like and subscribe and give us some more book recommendations. We would love to go where you're at and find those hidden gems that we aren't even thinking about.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe.
And share.
We're also looking for sponsors or donors. Like I've said in the past, you can reach out to us through our email. It's bigrascals.podcast@gmail.com. So yeah, anything else, guys, before we say goodbye?
No, I think that's
Big
it.
Rascals
Good to
hopes
go.
you've enjoyed this program.
Oh yeah.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, Pax au Talamanus.
Good news, everyone.
All right. This has been Big Rascals. Keep reading, keep writing, stay rascally, my friends. Catch you guys later. I think we lost video, but whatever. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.